the greatest privilege on earth. The privilege and pride of being an American.
Yeah, and Tim Walz also began his speech with a great line saying, "We're all here tonight for one beautiful, simple reason. We love this country." And yet this message doesn't seem to be catching on with a lot of the younger people. None of them are standing up and screaming, "That's my country." Quite the quite the reverse.
I thought I'd never say it, but thank you, Bill Maher. Thank you, brother. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you real quick about voting early. Some people get in their mind because we tricked ourselves into stupidity last election and said, we only vote on election day. Look what happened in Arizona. Look what happened in Arizona. On election day, the machines didn't work. So I want you to vote early. Voting early and voting same day are very similar. The process is very similar. The security is very similar. So because what I don't want to happen this year is for something to happen in Arizona, or you get a flat tire, or you can't get out of work, or you forget to register, or you end up voting but it didn't count somehow. If you vote early, you have an opportunity to go back and fix those things. If a signature is wrong, if your address is not correct, or something that they need you to fix. The reason I say this is because my wife went back and she had to call, she had to go by people's houses because they had things that were wrong with their ballot that their vote wouldn't have counted if they didn't physically fix it. And there was tons of people we couldn't get in touch with. So voting early will help you. If you live in one of these states, Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Montana, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, go and put your information in here and find out how to vote early. I vote early in Arizona because I don't want nothing to happen to me on election day, and then I'm out of luck. Anyway, the link will be in the description section. Click the link in the description section and figure out how to get yourself to vote early. You got to be in one of these states because early voting is not eligible for everybody. Let's get into this, ladies and gentlemen. I want to play this Bill Maher clip because I thought it was excellent. And I think you enjoy it as well. It's funny to me that Bill Maher is going to say what he's going to say in this video, but Bill Maher is not endorsing Trump. It's crazy to me. These people, they say the right things because they're waking up, but for some reason they're afraid to come all the way across the aisle and actually vote for what they believe in. One day, maybe one day, Bill Maher may vote for Donald Trump. Roll the clip.
And finally, new rule, the smartest thing Democrats did this year was finding their patriotism again. If you told me a year ago that if Kamala Harris would be the nominee and in her acceptance speech, she would use the word privilege, I would not have guessed that she used it the way she did.
The greatest privilege on earth. The privilege and pride of being an American.
Yeah, and Tim Walz also began his speech with a great line saying, "We're all here tonight for one beautiful, simple reason. We love this country." And yet this message doesn't seem to be catching on with a lot of the younger people. None of them are standing up and screaming, "That's my country." Quite the reverse.
Yeah, y'all got mad at me when I did that. Okay.
The reverse, the protests that started off as justice for Palestine have morphed into a broader kind of America is the problem. We fucked up the whole world thing. Last weekend, there was a pro-Palestine rally in Seattle, and when the rapper Macklemore said, "F America," everybody loved it.
Yeah, F America.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a big hit with the Queers for Gaza crowd. Literally advocating for a government that would imprison you or kill you for being queer from the safety and security of a country that doesn't do that. Yes, America, the only place in the world where a white guy from the suburbs could become a millionaire rapper, because here every person, regardless of race, class, or gender, has the right to be talent-free. And guess what document allows you to protest and chant, "Hey, hey, ho, ho," followed by something really stupid? Yeah. Constitution Day was last week. It's an actual federal holiday, but No one noticed, despite the fact that it's probably the greatest legal document ever. Is it flawed? Of course. It was written by humans, and they were all white men, as depicted in this illustration from Google AI. But how about looking at the actual ideas in it? I won't hold my breath for that, because only 14% of 8th graders are proficient in history now, and only 22% in civics, which may be why 4 in 10 Gen Zers say the authors of the Constitution are best described as villains. Wow. It's amazing, since in 1776, James Monroe was 18. Alexander Hamilton was 21 and James Madison 25. Joe Biden was only 30. America's founders, they were the Gen Z of their day. And when they were your age,
I don't think they were the Gen Z of their day, because I think they only lived to like 30-something. You know, I don't know if they were living in 80 years old, but I get what he's saying.
They started a country. What the fuck have you done? So no, the Constitution isn't perfect because it wasn't written by Taylor Swift, but... And yes, the founders made excruciating compromises, obviously slavery. But slavery was a deal breaker for the southern states. So there would have been 2 countries. And then to end slavery in North America, it would have involved invading a sovereign nation instead of having the moral high ground of keeping a union together. Would that have been better? History's complicated, and Gen Z reasoning is not. They think they're pure, but they're really just simplistic. They know 2 things. White people did some very bad things, and no, that's it. That's all they do. That's what they know.
It's what they're teaching them in these indoctrination camps. They're teaching white man bad, white man bad, white hate yourself, hate yourself. It's crazy to me.
Well, I know that too. But I also know other things. Like how in 1776, slavery was a lot like flying private today. If you could afford to, you would have done it too. Everybody did it, of all races, throughout history, in the Bible, and all over the world. If you hate George Washington for slavery, are you prepared to hate the woman king? Because her empire was built on it too. And where do you imagine is this place, outside of your brilliant, pure minds, that's so much better than America? At least America self-corrects, a mechanism for which was actually written into the Constitution. The citizens of Gaza cannot assemble in protest of their own government, cannot do or say what they want, or practice whatever religion they want, or have a free press. All rights guaranteed in just our First Amendment. The irony is, in all this, is that the world the founders birthed, flawed though it may be, provides the bedrock for everything that makes life good for the very people who hate them so much. It's so easy to take for granted individual liberty, a Bill of Rights, the rule of law, checks and balances, getting a trial by jury, the peaceful transfer of power, protecting minority rights, and democracy itself. But those are the things that make our pampered, privileged, bratty lives so relatively cushy. No one starves here. Even our poor people are fat.
Even our poor people are fat. God dang. I think the poor people are the fattest people, actually. It's because they eat bad food, too. So, yeah.
Not everyone has to be bribed. Anyone can get rich. The cops are flawed, but we're not a police state. The drinks don't make you go blind, and no one pushes you out of a window for a bad Yelp review. Our government takes a lot and fucks up a lot, but it also gives a lot. Healthcare, retirement, money, unemployment, disability, college grants, food stamps. Maybe in the blissfully perspective-free mind, this all adds up to a low bar that America has reached. But you have to ask, why do millions of people every year risk their lives to come here? Because
have anybody figured that out yet? If this is such a racist country, racist against the brown people, then why all these brown people work Border Patrol and coming into our country, risking their lives, getting taken advantage of, going across the water, across the sea, in the air, under the tunnels, just to get into this free country? It's plenty of countries out there. Why they coming here? Okay, we know why.
Because they want what we got. The founders were flawed, but they did build a place the whole world wants to break into. No one is paying a coyote to smuggle them into India or Russia. Immigrants don't see us as the problem. They see us as the solution. And there's a reason they kill themselves to get here, and it's not just the ponds full of delicious ducks and geese.
All right, I like that little segment. These little dummies running around here ungrateful as a mother. They're like that kid that's ungrateful. Make you want to just kick him out of the house. Yo, you don't like living here. Oh, you get out the house. Get out of here. Go see what it's like out there, and then I'll hear you when you come back. See you on the next one. I'm out.